Welcome to sureshbhattclasses. We are learning quantitative aptitude topic numbers. Quantitative aptitude topics are useful for all competitive exams like bank PO, railways, SSC, CGL, RRBs and many more, and many government job exams. These topics are useful for many job interviews and extremely useful for all entrance exams like GRE, SAT, ACT, CAT, GMAT and many more. In this video, we are going to learn how to find remainder. We go to the topic. Finding remainder of the number when divisor is part A 2 or 5. Divide one's place by 2 or 5. The remainder will be remainder of the number. It means that when any number is given to you and you have to find the remainder when it is divided by 2 or 5, then what you have to do? You have just to see the ones place or units place digit of that number and you divide that number by 2 or 5, and whatever the remainder you get will be the remainder of the given number. B. 3 or 9. Divide the sum of digits by 3 or 9. The remainder will be the remainder of the number. It means that if you are given a number and if that number is divided by 3 or 9, then you have to find the remainder. Then what you have to do? You have just to take the sum of all the digits of the given number and divide that sum by 3 or 9, and whatever the remainder you get will be the remainder of the given number. Part C. 4. If the divisor is 4, it means divide last two digits by 4. The remainder will be the remainder of the number. It means that if a number is given to you, then you have not to divide the entire number. You have just to divide the last two digits of the given number by 4, and whatever the remainder you get will be the remainder for the given number. Part D. 8. It means that you are dividing by 8. Divide last three digits by 8. The remainder will be the remainder of the number. It means that if the number is given to you and it is to be divided by 8 and you have to find the remainder, then what you have to do? You have to divide only the last three digits of the given number, and whatever the remainder you get will be the remainder of the given number. Now we will solve few examples for these all 4 A, B, C, D points, and we will learn to find the remainder. The given example is find remainder when 337 divided by 2. Now we have not to divide the entire 337. We have just to divide 7, and 7 when divided by 2 gives the remainder equal to 1, as 2 times 3 is 6, and if we subtract 6 from 7 we get remainder 1, and this one is the remainder when 337 is divided by 2. The next example is find remainder when 489 is divided by 5. Here we have not to divide the complete number 489, we have just to divide 9. 9 when divided by 5, it divides it only for one time, and when we subtract 5 from 9 we get remainder 4. So the remainder when 489 is divided by 5 is also 4. Is the same remainder as we when divide 9 by 5. The next example is find remainders when 3578 is divided by 3 and 9. In this case, we have to take the sum of the digits of 3578. And sum of digits is 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15 plus 8 is 23. Now, when 23 is divided by 3, then 7 times 3 is 21 and remainder is 2. So when the entire number 3578 is divided by 3, then the remainder will be 2. And when the entire number is divided by 9, when we divide 23 by 9, 9 times 2 is 18, and on subtracting 18 from 23, the remainder is 5. 23 minus 18 is 5. It means that when the entire number 3578 is divided by 9, then the remainder will be 5. We are not to divide the complete number. We have just to divide the sum of the digits of the given number, and then we have to divide that number, and whatever the remainder we get will be the remainder of the given number. Our next example is find remainder when 5739 is divided by 4. In this case, we have not to divide the entire number, but we have just to divide the last two digits, and last two digits are 39, and 39 when divided by 4, 4 times 9 is 36, and 36 when subtracted from 39 we get 3. It means that when 4739 is divided by 4, the remainder will be 3. That will be the remainder of the entire number 4739. Our next example is find remainder when 35,437 is divided by 8. Here we have to divide only the last 3 digits, and last 3 digits are 437. 8 times 5 is 40. Balance is 3, we carry 7. 8 times 4 is 32. And 32 when subtracted from 37, we get remainder 5. It means that when 35,437 is divided by 8, the remainder will be 5. And we are not to divide the entire number, we have just to divide the last 3 digits. Tips to find remainders. The tip 1 is if a plus b plus c plus d, these are the sum of 4 numbers, is divided by x, then we can directly divide individuals and find the remainders. If a is divided by x, then we get the remainder of a, plus b is divided by x, then we get the remainder of b, plus c is divided by x, then we get the remainder of c, plus d is divided by x, then we get the remainder of d. And if we add all these, then that is equal to the total remainder. And if this total remainder is less than x, then the remainder will be same. And if remainder is more than x, then what we do? We divide r by x if remainder is greater than x. We will understand this by one example. The given example is find remainder when 321 plus 132 plus 243 plus 325 plus 456 plus 367 is divided by 5. We have not to add the entire number, we have just to divide individual numbers and find the remainders. If we divide 321 by 5, then the ones place is 1, so we are going to get the remainder 1. Plus when 132 is divided by 5, then we get the remainder 2 as the ones place is 2. Plus 243 when divided by 5, we get the remainder 3 as the ones place is 3. And 325 is divided by 5, then the ones place is 5, so 5 divides 5 and we get the remainder 0. Plus 456 when divided by 5. When 6 is divided by 5, then we get the remainder 1. Plus 367 when divided by 5, then 1's place is 7, and when we divide it by 5, we get remainder 2. The sum of these remainders is 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 0 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So this remainder is 9. And this remainder is greater than 5. So we again divide 9 by 5, and what we get? Remainder as 4. When 9 is divided by 5, then this remainder equal to 4. This way we can, without adding all these numbers, we can easily find the remainder when the number is divided by 5. Hope you have understood this tip. Now we go to the next tip. Tip 2. If A into B into C into D is divided by X, then remainder is equal to remainder when A is divided by X into remainder when B is divided by X into remainder when C is divided by X into remainder when D is divided by X. And this is equal to total R, total remainder. And if this total remainder is less than X, then the remainder will be remainder itself. And if it is more than X, then we have to divide again the remainder so obtained by X, and whatever we get the remainder will be the remainder. We will learn this by one example. The example is find remainder when 321 multiplied by 132 multiplied by 243 multiplied by 456 multiplied by 367 is divided by 5. Now 321 when divided by 5 will give 1, as the 1's place is 1. And we know that when any number is divided by 5, then we have just to find the 1's place divided by 5, and whatever we get the remainder, that will be the remainder. So when 321 is divided by 5, then the remainder will be 1. When 132 will be divided by 5, then the remainder will be 2. As 2 when divides by 5 gives the remainder 2. And 243 will give the remainder 3. And 456 will give the remainder 1, as 6 when divided by 5 gives the remainder 1. And 367 will give the remainder 2, as the 7 when divided by 5 gives the remainder 2. Now our remainder of A is 1, remainder of B is 2. This way we can say it. And the total remainder is equal to 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, 6 multiplied by 1 is 6, and 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. But as 12 is greater than 5, so again we have to divide 12 by 5. That is, when 12 is divided by 5, the remainder is 2. This way we can find the remainder without multiplying the entire numbers and then dividing it by 5. We go to the next tip for finding the remainder. Tip number 3, use of negative remainder. In many questions, we can make questions easy by using the negative remainder. You will learn the concept of this when I explain you by one example. And we go to the example to learn the use of negative remainder. The given example is find remainder when 579 multiplied by 576 is divided by 29, and we have to find the remainder using the concept of or use of negative remainder. Now we know that 29 times 2 is 58. So 29 times 20 is 580. And this is 579. It is 1 less than 580. So we can write the remainder as minus 1. If we subtract 580 from 579, we will get remainder as minus 1 into, if we subtract 580 from 576, then that will be minus 4, and minus 1 multiplied by minus 4 is 4. So our remainder will be 4 when we divide 579 multiplied by 576 by 29, and this is that easy if we use the concept of using negative remainders, and in few seconds we can get the answer for the finding remainder. I hope you have understood this concept to use the method of using negative remainder. We go to another example. Find remainder when factorial 1 plus factorial 2 plus factorial 3 plus factorial 4 plus factorial 5 up to plus factorial 100 is divided by 5. As we know that all the numbers above factorial 4 are ends with 0. So all those numbers are divisible by 5 and the remainder will be 0. So we have to find the remainder when factorial 1, which is 1, plus factorial 2 is 2, plus factorial 3 is 6, plus factorial 4 is 24, is divided by 5. So when 1 is divided by 5, the remainder is 1. When 2 is divided by 5, the remainder is 2. When 6 is divided by 5, the remainder is 1. And 24 is divided by 5, then remainder is minus 1. So this one is cancelled by this one, and the remainders will be 2 plus 1 is 3. This way we can use the negative remainder and reach to the answer fast. What happens when the remainder is negative and remainder cannot be negative? So how to solve such type of questions when we get the negative remainder? We go to the next example. We go to the example, find remainder when 14 multiplied by 19 is divided by 16. When 14 is divided by 16, then 14 minus 16 is minus 2 into 19 divided by 16. 19 minus 16 is plus 3. So the remainder will be minus 6. But remainder cannot be minus 6. So what we do? We add the divisor, which is 16. Therefore, minus 6 plus 16 equal to 10. Hence our remainder will be 10. This way we have to solve when the remainder is negative. Then what we have to do? We have to add the divisor to the remainder, and by that we can get the remainder as positive. So minus 6 plus 16 equal to 10 will be our final remainder. This way we can use the trick of using negative remainder and can solve the question fast for finding the remainder. Tip 4. What care we should take? We have to find the remainder when 84 is divided by 15. 15 times 5 is 75, and 84 minus 75, the remainder is 9. Remainder equal to 9, as 15 times 5 is 75 and 84 minus 75 is 9. Can we do this? 84 upon 15. We cancel this by 3 and it comes out to be 28, and we cancel 15 by 3 and we get 5. And 5 times 5 is 25 and remainder is 3. Can we do like this? We cannot do like this, because our question is we have to find the remainder when 84 is divided by 15, not 28 by 5. So we have to take care that we cannot cancel like this. And if we cancel it, then again, if we have cancelled it like this, then we have to multiply the remainder by 3 again to get 9. So when we cancel numerator and denominator, then by the same number we have to multiply the remainder to get the original remainder. I hope you have understood the mistake which we can do or people can do by writing 84 upon 15 and cancelling it by 3. So we should not do like this. We have to actually divide 84 by 15 and whatever the remainder we get, we have to write that remainder. We have not to do the mistake of cancelling it. We go to the next example to learn this tip properly. The given example is find remainder when 101 multiplied by 102 multiplied by 103 is divided by 9. Now what we have to do? We have to actually take the sum of the digits. 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 when divided by 9 the remainder is 2. Next is 102. The sum of digit is 2 plus 1 is 3 and 3 when divided by 9 leaves the remainder 3. And 103. 3 plus 1 is the sum of the digit, that is 3 plus 1 is 4 and 4 when divided by 9 leaves the remainder 4. Therefore the total remainder is 2 multiplied by 3 is 6 multiplied by 4 is 24. Now 24 is greater than 9, so we have to again take the sum of the digits, which is 2 plus 4 is 6, and when 6 is divided by 9 gives the remainder 6. Therefore our remainder comes out to be 6. But can we do like this? 101 multiplied by 102 multiplied by 103 upon 9. 3 times 3 is 9 and we can cancel 102 by 3. 3 times 3 is 9 and 3 times 4 is 12. This way can we do it and then find the remainder? In this case the remainder will be sum of digits 1 plus 1 is 2 and 3 plus 4 is 7 and 1 plus 3 is 4. This gives multiplication of 7 by 4 is 28 and 28 times 2 is 56 and again the sum is 11 and 11 when divided by 3 gives the remainder 2, which is not correct. So we cannot cancel like this. When the question is you have to give the remainder when in original question it is divided by 9, not by 3. If we cancel it by 3, then we have cancelled the remainder by 3. Our original remainder was 6 and now the remainder is 2. And when we cancel 6 by 3, then we get 2. Therefore, we have not to do this mistake of cancelling the dividend and divisor by any common factor. And for making it easy, if we do it, then we have to multiply the remainder by that number by which we had cancelled the numerator and denominator. I hope you have understood the care which we have to take in finding the remainder. Tip number 5. Remainders when part 1 kx plus a is divided by x, then remainder will be a. Part 2 kx plus a whole square when divided by x, the remainder is a square. Part 3 kx plus a whole cube when divided by x, the remainder is a cube. Part 4 kx plus a whole raised to power n when divided by x, the remainder is a to the power n. And part 5 kx minus a whole to the power n is divided by x, then remainder is a to the power n when n is even, and minus a to the power n plus x when n is odd. All these are important tips for finding remainders in the questions asked in various competitive exams. Here completes this video. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. Thanks for watching.